If I got any version of that, I'd probably get it on Steam or PS4, but I don't really play games on my PC.
I'll have to mull it.
Like, FPS is the big exception.
Yeah, I can't play these things without a mouse and keyboard. Actually,
I can. I mean, I played through Borderlands 3 recently with just on a controller, but I mean, that's different. Those games are slow-ish.
It's time we meet.
Oh, it's this level! Oh, hell yeah.
This facility.
It's BFG, if I recall, isn't it? Want my BFG?
BFG. Maybe.
Or this might be.
Yeah, I think like you're already about to get the BFG. I don't know.
It's either he tells me where it is, or I get it.
This is shorter than I remember it being.
I'm also cruising along at the difficulty. I didn't actually accidentally lower the difficulty, did I? No, okay. Still ultraviolence. I know, of like, I feel like I'm doing really well right now, and I'm just like, oh, I am. Okay. Oh, hi.
Yeah, you're just kind of chewing through it, but I mean, like, when you've beaten the game before, it's a little easier to just kind of get in that groove.
Oh, yeah. Yoink.
I'd say right after the BFG division stage, like the UAC facility, before you go to the first hell level, is pretty much right around the point where, like, once you learn to deal with the Mancubi is when the game kind of, like, falls into place.
Yeah. Can I just say I'm really happy they made it so the reward for the upgraded Super Shotgun was not you fire twice without reloading. I kind of prefer it just being, like, thud. And there goes the body parts. Ugh, Doom Eternal just... It really is one of the best sequels ever made at this point. I'm pretty fully... Like, I was even willing to accept that when I wasn't on the greatest terms with it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm... Like, because again, I was like, I can see this is incredible. I don't get it. Like, why don't I enjoy this? Hello. Video game.
It's just some games where you gotta like sit there and you gotta put in the work and practice the hell out of it.
Best thing I ever did was stop streaming it, even if it was at I should have stopped before the final level. And then just learn how to play the fucking game on my own so I didn't feel like a shithead. Whereas that's a different beast altogether. Oh, hi.
I mean, sometimes too, like, if something's like difficult enough, like, it's just more beneficial to like sit down and play it off stream. Unless it's like the kind of difficult where you know it's like you're in for that ride.
Yeah.
Like the P rank boss and Ultra Kills. Like, I knew I was gonna be in for that ride because people who were like pros at that game were like, yeah, I spent like 2 hours on this fight. And I was like, okay. Well.
And what kind of work is it?
Yeah, that like Doom Eternal and Sekiro are the two games where after I went back to it when I wasn't streaming it, and you know, actually I still want to go back to Sekiro a bit more, and like I think at this point I just need to restart the fucking game because it's been so long.
Sekiro is worth restarting, and like it's worth a fresh playthrough.
Yeah. Like I wasn't even that far. Like I beat Madame Butterfly without the missed things because I was a stubborn jackass.
I mean, I had them and I used them and I fucked it up enough to where I still had to do it without it, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. God, that was a cool fight though. Not to mention I'm in a better spot with parrying in general after DMC fucking 5 Royal Guard was the boot camp of all. Actually no, the boot camp of all boot camps was DMC 3 Royal Guard.
Yeah, that's tighter for sure.
Way tighter. I did not appreciate how much fucking tighter that was.
Well, DMC3 is like, I mean, there's a reason people still go back to it today as like the pedestal character action game.
God, the fact that I could say there is an argument is fucking frightening. Because like, DMC5 is definitely a pretty fucking incredibly well-made game.
Entry-level DMC3. And that's why it's like so great, is because you can pick it up and it still has that high-ass ceiling, but like the barrier to entry to get to that ceiling is much lower in 5 than it was in any of the previous entries.
God, yeah, and I'm really grateful for that. Because like I love DMC3. I finally like truly understand like this. I get how that game goes. I get why it's great. Like it's really cool to be at that point. Like it's been really fun replaying it again. Like I've played through it 3 times in the last like 4 years. And I'm in the middle of, I think this might be the 4th. So I know I played through it once on Switch. once on the PC on stream. I've gotten God knows how many times through it, and then I rebeat all the stages on Switch on a higher difficulty.
All right.
So it counts, I would say. But like,
You haven't played higher difficulty DMC in eons.
Five Son
I
of
never even
Sparta's.
did for like the Bayonetta games either. Like the last time I tried playing a character action game on higher than its default setting was when Metal Gear Rising came out.
Yeah.
And that game is like ancient now.
It is, and you know what fucking sucks? I can't play the fucking game anymore. It's just doesn't feel as good as a lot of contemporaries. Like at this point, it doesn't have the Bayonetta 1. Well, it was the first effort, and it was charming, and it doesn't have Bayonetta 2's. Holy shit, they made a lot of the stuff I had issues with really good. Or
Yeah, Metal Gear Rising is like somewhere in this weird void where like it plays differently from all of the other Platinum action games, but it's like by that nature, it's in the same tier Bayonetta 1 is.
yeah, I really would love to. I really wish we'd get it too, so it'd get iterated on and pushed further, because there's a lot of really cool shit there. But it just
play
needs.
Wonderful 101. You can play all Platinum games at the same time.
I really need to buy that. I still don't have it on PC or on. Or
I
I'm gonna
haven't
go.
got the collector or the updated ones. I'm kind of just waiting for that DLC for it to come out.
Interdimensional tether. A means for me to pull you back.
Makes
from
sense.
hell. I'm sorry for that.
Oh, I'm excited for fucking. Like, I
I
just.
think you'd allow its installation voluntarily.
That's one of those games I really want to play too, and I didn't realize the DLC they were making played like Beautiful Joe.
This way, please.
Yeah, apparently. Like, I keep hearing crazy-ass rumors about the Wonderful 101 thing, and it's just...
And if that's true, like, I really miss Beautiful Joe. That's a.
Beautiful Joe has a lot of really great ideas in it that I've seen other games take and just, like, nobody notices. The whole undodgeable attacks thing being marked by, like, an indicator and shit like that.
Yup. It's really crazy, some of the things that were in Beautiful Joe, looking back on it.
The destruction of the Argentine.
It was pretty ahead of its time. I mean, it's also
Stating
hard to go back and play, though, because, like, so many other games have taken little bits and pieces from it and refined it, but no game has done everything that it has
all
done.
of our
Yeah.
work and understanding of their world is derived from the inscriptions on a large stone artifact we pulled from hell in the earliest days of the program. We call it.
I've just clicked with me. It's like, oh yeah, this is the big like explanation cutscene. And it's just like, yeah, Beautiful Joe is awesome.
The land was
But I
I
mean,
mean, what
it
else
is.
you can do?
from
I mean,
What
God,
else are you
it,
gonna talk about? I
really
mean,
wanna
Beautiful
get-
Joe is, in essence, I think, is where we've,
take advantage of their resources.
at least back in the day, like, I think that was around the point where the limits of what you can do in, like, a 2D action game plane were starting to be hit.
Yeah.
Show you how to shut it down.
Because it was a character action game in a lot of ways, like with how like you
Yeah.
combo and stuff.
Which is only accessible.
I mean, I've
for
played
secure
so many
domains
since
from the
then that have, like, the really high-paced button count action style and stuff, but, like, none of them hit right for
No.
some reason for me.
It also helps how quickly you could switch between like lightning fast punches to slow meaty punches.
That's the thing, is it has measured combat as well. It's like the speed up isn't to speed up the battles or anything like that. It's used as a tool more
Yeah,
than anything else.
you just can. Because isn't there like can't you punch really fast while speed up? Or am I thinking of a different game?
You can punch really fast with full speed up and set yourself on fire, which you have to use in the Fire Leo fight, if I remember right. Otherwise, you can't get close to him.
That's right. And then like, but it's not just like, oh, you're super strong now. It's just, but actually your
That's just
stronger hits are slow mo.
punches, and sometimes it works for solving puzzles, sometimes it works for setting yourself on fire, sometimes it works for dealing with specific enemy types. Like, it's...
Yeah.
I think that's where this is getting into design stuff and probably going up my own ass here, but I think that's where I disagree with like a lot of designers, where if you give everybody a toolkit out the gate and then go, okay, all these tools are useful in every conceivable situation, you just kind of get like a mush, you know? Like, I like tools with specific uses, but you don't forget about using them. You're supposed to use them here and there and things like that.
Oh, okay. So, like... Because, like, the only game I could think of that gives you a full tool set, like, pretty much right out the gate that never made everything feel like mush was Breath of the Wild. And that...
Yeah, it's more along the lines of, like...
Really
I guess... Yeah, well, I guess where I'm getting at is along the lines of, like... You have, like, a set kit of all these different moves, and you can add more moves, or you can subtract more moves, but essentially you're just playing the same game. You know? Regardless if you buy those moves or not.
Yeah. While you... Okay, yeah.
Basically the kind of games where you have customization, but really when you watch people play, or you play yourself, you're not playing that differently from anyone else, even if you're like using different things.
Yeah, it
it's
all
just like
looks the same.
split kind of games, basically, where you just push like a bunch of buttons and cool shit's gonna happen regardless. And not to dunk on Vanillaware, but the perfect example of this game is Muramasa.
Yeah. Honestly,
like, I like the game a lot. It's actually quite fun, but it's just like, it's that kind of game.
I kind of think Bayonetta 1 is too.
Yes, Bayonetta 1 definitely is just a kind of push the buttons until you beat it kind of game.
I really wish I played Bayonetta 1 more when it came out, because I didn't have the greatest time with it when I played it down the line on Switch.
The events in that are not... They're
horrible.
a little dated now.
They're
Yeah,
dog
they're
shit.
a little dated now. I mean...
They are horrible. They were the worst, some of the worst that was ever done. And that's a fucking statement.
Yeah, it's the fact that you can die during them that really...
And occasionally it sets you fucking back.
It does. It does.
Like, if it didn't set you back a lot, fine, whatever. But at that point, I don't understand why you could fail. But for the love of God, don't do what the Avengers did. Holy crap, who thought that was a good idea? Oh, he's just gonna float in the air until you, press the button.
Good shit.
It was quality. Oh, God. No,
Speaking of Avengers, I like how they're just like, next, all content updates now. They're free. Play our game.
Wait, was it?
Bye.
Was the content updates not always free? Did that come out? Like, was that new?
I think they were gonna probably do season passes originally, but now like that, if I remember right, the E3 thing was like the Wakanda DLC is supposed to be like.
And from what I've heard, and what I've heard too is they did a bunch of things. They apparently gutted a bunch of fun mechanics from the game. I don't know. I was browsing Reddit and I just saw something pop up like, I can't believe you're removing all these mechanics. I'm like, it's just like Destiny again.
Destiny, it removed planets, not mechanics.
Yeah,
it actually adds mechanics. I'm gonna give it that. Like, Destiny tends to keep on top of like
mechanical design,
adding different weapons or mechanics or like new PvP modes and stuff like that. Like, there's a reason it sticks around, and there's a reason people keep tolerating it.
Oh yeah.
And it's largely because the game that we thought was going to be the killer. I think we talked about it last time, but like, man, I sure wish we'd lived in the Anthem universe. That was where Anthem was good.
Yeah. That one still just, I knew it wasn't, I knew there was going to be no Realm Reborn. EA is not, Anthem is not Final Fantasy.
Anthem's not Final Fantasy, and not only that, the product they shipped wasn't something that had enough time to be fixed without a good number of years to come.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that they could turn around quite like they did in Realm Reborn.
I still do wonder, that must have been probably hellish. Like, the working conditions must not have been great.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, look at where they were after they'd finished Heaven's Ward. Is like, that was the longest break they took, because it was like, we made this game and it was so successful we had to start on the expansion immediately, but we kind of needed a break.
Yeah, and now apparently they have a really good work-life balance, and that's the best
Seems like
news.
I mean, they've cranked everything out at a consistent tick ever since the launch of Stormblood.
I'd be blunt. I don't understand why no other fucking MMO can do that. I've never stood that. Why is 14 the only one that can have a consistent schedule like this?
Apparently, Square is like one of the few companies that has adapted to work from home better than like any other company. Like,
No company is...
their schedules for the games, like if you look and read up online, it's like almost all the projects that were in the works during the pandemic had only been delayed by about 4 to 6 months at most.
I meant in general, because I know what your World of Warcraft experience was. I was there. So randomly you would be waiting between 6 months to, I think the longest wait was 1.5 years for new content.
Yeah.
Period. Not even like a mid-patch. And I just don't understand, like, because it's still that bad. Blizzard still has a garbage schedule. And I just don't understand why no other MMO can have a consistent schedule.
I don't want to dunk on Blizzard too much, but it's like, it's one of those things where they have that it's coming when it's done policy, and they have this air about them as like, oh, only when it's perfect, only when it matches our impeccable standards and stuff. And usually their stuff comes out and it's just kind of like, it's fun.
Yeah.
I don't get why you're like one of the biggest companies in the world. I just don't understand. Like, Diablo 3 was fun. I played through it like 3, 4, maybe even 5 times with different classes and stuff. So it's like, it's not that it's a bad game or anything like that, but it's just like, I play it and I look at it, it's like, it's a game. You know?
What's really the so Diablo 3, I would say, I just gotta carry this corpse. What pisses me off is Diablo 3 got into the good place that I really always wanted it to be, and then they immediately let go of the entire team that put it to that place.
Diablo 3 getting only one expansion was a crime.
Because Blizzard didn't even wait to see how it did. They just let go of the team like 2 days afterwards, and then they found out it was a success, and they were like, oh no.
And for Diablo, though, every Diablo game has gotten one expansion that adds content that isn't a character.
They really, like, they definitely just... I think they realized how badly they fucked up with the stopgap little contents to try and get a little bit of money. And by that, I mean the Necromancer. But it still just chafes my ass real hard, because it should have... Oh, whoops. I didn't do that right.
I think I did the same thing the first time I was there.
It just... How do I word it? You could feel Activision's claws digging into Blizzard at that. Like, it was already done at that point. Which, whatever.
In my humble opinion, they should just make The Lost Vikings 3.
I would be all about that, to be perfectly frank, but also I'm an asshole.
Blackthorn 2!
Also that. I would love to see a Kyle Blackthorn. What the fuck is his name?
Love seeing that about Blizzard is like, at some point in time before the first Diablo, is Blizzard was every other fucking developer when they were first starting out.
Yeah. Oh.
The thing that I think is like weird about modern games is that stopgap is so much smaller now. Like,
why did I do that?
You have indie games coming out that are indie games, but they're Ori and the Blind Forest, and it's like, I can't differentiate that between fucking Joe Bob's indie game and like a AAA game almost.
The games industry is in a strange spot.
It's in a strange spot because the tools are advancing to a point where to keep up with each other, even indies have like a much crazier entry barrier to produce something that's like gonna catch on with people. I mean, there's always the exceptions and stuff like that, but
Yeah. You have to try and
even
catch
then
lightning
the
in a bottle.
exceptions and stuff tend, yeah. Well, like, even then the exceptions, like, they have something to them that like you couldn't just do. You can't just like make you can't just make Super Meat Boy.
No.
You couldn't just make that game now and expect it to do well.
No.
And that's only like 11 years old now, I think. That's just how much it's changed. Like, if you wanted to make that successful, you'd have to
Whoa.
make like, whoa.
It went a
Damn.
lot quicker than I thought it would. I thought it'd take a second to fall.
Yeah, you'd either have to come up with some crazy ass mechanic if you wanted to get away with that, or you would have to do something like Celeste where there's like a narrative that underlies why you're doing things like that, you know?
Yeah. As good as Celeste was gameplay-wise, I don't think I would have cared nearly about that game if it didn't have so much fucking heart in it.
If it didn't have... Yeah, of course.
God.
Well, the thing with Celeste that works too is like, while it is a tricky ass platformer, it plays into the narrative. It's not like it undermines it or anything like that. It like it marries the two ideas together, and like that's an example of like storytelling done right in a game.
God, I need to replay Celeste sometime, or try and beat the DLC and hate myself.
Look, man,
Not
it only
DLC,
took me 8
expansion.
hours and caused me a very sore hand for the next week.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't play it at one sitting. Like, that was my mistake.
Yeah, that seems like the real trick.
Like, just play it like a couple hours at a time. And if you get like really stuck on a room, step away and come back. God, the file room. What the fuck, Maddie Thorson? What the fuck?
That good, huh?
Oh, not only that, I mean, I found out about like how you get one of the like, I think it's like the last secret strawberry, and like, what the fucking fuck?
Oh. Well, when I heard
Like-
they taught you how to do speedrun mechanics, I was like, oh no.
The tutorial for that's amazing.
It is. I've seen
Hopefully,
the tutorial for
yeah.
that.
Okay, you haven't seen that, but if you have, yeah, like it's impressive.
It's very cute and very on brand.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's.
Oh, right, they can fucking over.
I've learned even having the limits with platformers, and it is roughly the last room of that. Like, I beat it, but Jesus.
Oh, I think one of the generic mooks just hit me in the back. Unfortunate.
Nice. I guess you were doomed from the start.
Ba-da-ba.
Chris.
I just realized I think we're recording this.
Duke Nukem Duke Nukem music.
Oh my god, the da-da-da jingle is... Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
forever
it is.
ruined for me.
I've been having a lot of realizations like that lately.
Can I...
There's like something. There's something in La Mulana that reminded me of like a 90s pop song that's been driving me insane because I can't unhear it now.
Oh no. I should probably do some video game mechanics. Oh god. I totally had something to say and I just lost it completely from sheer panic of the fact that these pinkies are kind of fucking me up. I killed myself.
The splash damage on the rocket launcher seems smaller in Eternal too. That's not just me, right?
No, I also don't have the lower damage from explosives.
Ah, gotcha.
Which, if I recall, you just have that by default in Eternal because thank you.
Yeah, probably. That said, it does feel like the splash damage is like... The splash radius, I should say, is a little smaller. Could be wrong.
I don't honestly... I'm not sure. I'm really excited to get to Eternal right after this because, like, just going straight from one to the other. Like, apparently you... also, it's all just a really good way to play it.
If you go straight from one to another, it just feels like you're increasing in power.
Yeah, that's apparently exactly what it
It's-
feels like, which, okay.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
right.
taking your weapons away, but...
I remember. So you only get to swing that sword until the final boss of Eternal like 5 times before the final boss, right?
You really don't get that sword for very long. I'm glad the expansions exist for that reason.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, even then, like, you don't... It's not the sword.
I wanted to use the sword. They hyped it up so much. I wanted it to be a regular-ass weapon I could just bust out and swing around. I like swords. They make me feel cool. I like Smash Brothers Ultimate because they had a lot of sword users. And everyone now hates me. How to piss off the internet. Praise the sword user count of Smash Ultimate.
Hey Nintendo, I've got this character. He hasn't been released in a game yet, but he's got an axe. You wanna, like...
No.
It's just...
I feel like Nintendo really... Although they did just add Tekken Boy. I can't fucking...
Here's how they fuck with everyone. Just add the, like, 15 arm guy from Elden Ring to Smash.
I need to sit back and watch that trailer, like, not on my phone. That looked pretty fucking ridiculous.
No, I watched it in 4K on my TV, and I'm like, I need it.
I'm so happy to hear all Martin did.
Made for last gen and looks better than, like, current gen shit still. Is just fuck FromSoft's art direction. That never let go that art department.
God, I will. Oh, if they did.
Like, the team they have got is just like, never let that team go. Like, that's all there is to it.
It's been too consistent. Like, when the A team is allowed to just make a game, they make real good fucking games. Oh, I have max BFG. Well, might as wait. All right, it's got its own button. What's its button? What's its button? Oh God, what's its button? Found it.
They're also incredibly damn smart too. There's a lot of shit in that trailer I noticed that's like straight up animations and like little assets with tweaks and tunes. Outright just lifted from all the Souls games and Sekiro and Bloodborne, but we're not gonna notice.
Yeah, no, not at all. Like, reusing assets you've already made seems like one of the best things you could do if you can make it look good.
You know how many models in any given new Square Enix game is just lightning?
Oh, I didn't need to know. I didn't want to know that.
That's a lot. You'd be surprised. Hey, Cloud is lightning.
Well, lightning was always Cloud, and Cloud was always lightning. The two sides of the same coin.
It's literally true now. Like, it's a modified lightning model they used for Cloud.
Really hate it, but it's understandable. Just because it's lightning specifically, and because of what lightning was intended to be, it just makes it worse. God.
Tried.
I'm not gonna do this against the Cyber Demon, but I just don't feel like dealing with those Mancubi right now.
That was a lot. Which is funny because he get like 2 or 3 of them coming at you at once, and he turned like, yeah, no problem, come at me, bro.
Yeah, it's whatever.
This one you're kind of like, no, I don't want to deal with those.
Just dash to the left, dash to the right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not done.
Or just freeze, belch, nade, explode. Like, that works pretty well for me.
Just want to be sure. I think this is one of the ones I had to do for a challenge. Oh no, it was Hell Knights, not Barons. Oh well. Bye ahead. God damn, it was fair that they nerfed this a little bit.
Out of those trolling ass fucking shit.
Jesus.
The final Smash DLC is about to get revealed. It's on a big red cityscape. Everything's on fire. There's a silhouette just blasting away and a bunch of things that look vaguely like demons. And then the fucking Duke Nukem music kicks in.
Oh!
Just the ultimate shit.
Some doomed Marine?
Oh, that'd be the ultimate shitpost.
I'd be fine with it.